That's so crooked. No?
I don't know.
Is it not?
I think we're good.
I can't tell. Look, it looks good. We can fix it later.
Okay.
This is On Air with... Oh, geez. This is Almost On Air with Erica and Jon.
My stomach hurts.
Is that because you ate lasagna before I came over here?
Yeah, I made lasagna.
Is that why you disappeared for a little bit
That
before
is.
we
I
recorded?
had to. The lasagna was blowing up in my stomach.
Ew, what?
In my stomach, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't need to do other things before we started this podcast. I didn't, but I'm just saying the lasagna was moving through my body, and it was like having some rumblies and rumblies and the tumblies, and I just had to make sure what was going on there.
I've got hair stuck in my piercings. I'm a mess.
Kind of a mess.
Wait, so your stomach hurts. I was pulling hair out of my piercings. and on the way over here, I think I gave myself a lisp. My front tooth has been like slightly chipped for a little bit of time. And I think I slightly chipped it even more on the way over here. And then I started saying S's. And I don't know if it was that I was then in my head and I was like, oh my God, I have a lisp. Or if now I have a hard time saying S's because I think I'm in my head.
Or I think you've been listening to our friend called Marie for so long.
That I'm developing her lisp.
Her partial lisp, yes.
Maybe.
If this is your first time tuning in, I'm sorry for the mess that you've been witnessing. But my name is Jon.
I'm Erica.
And this is our Almost On Air podcast. Now, we're both at some bachelor parties this weekend, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. And we also need to have a friend who needs some help.
I don't know if we are the people to help him.
Oh, I think I'm the perfect person to help him.
No, but that's the thing is you give awful advice
I
with
give
this
great
stuff.
advice.
No, you give really bad advice for women.
I give the true advice.
No, you're not giving advice. You're giving bad take from men. That wasn't a sentence.
No, I give advice to the person that I want to make sure is not getting taken advantage of. And in some situations, I think the guy's getting taken advantage of by the woman. And I just don't want that to happen.
Rarely. But I think that generally your advice to men is to be a bad dude.
I don't think that is ever my advice to men.
No. You're not saying, hey, be a bad dude. But sometimes your advice to men is like, care less.
Absolutely. Yes, that is correct. And I would absolutely give that advice to women in the same situations.
Anyway.
We're going to get there in just a little. If that's not a preview of the episode to come, I don't know what is. But before we get to that, I do want to formally apologize because we've mentioned this now. This is our third podcast bringing this up. But I do think I owe an apology because I didn't know that so many people think about me when they pee now.
Oh, yeah. Almost all of us, Jon.
There are a lot of people that have been DMing us over the last week saying, Erica, I too think about Jon when I pee.
Right. And thank God it's not just me.
It would be very weird. So if this is your first time tuning in, 3 weeks ago now, so it's been quite some time, I gave a report on why it is not a good thing to pee in the shower. There were two main reasons. One is just for women and two are unisex reasons. Gender neutral reasons.
Yep.
And so Erica revealed to me in last week's podcast that now I've ruined her life because when she pees, she thinks about me, which is basically what you said.
And now talking to you, I kind of have to pee.
And now when you hear my voice, you have to. So this is my concern. Now that so many people have reached out over the last week saying, I too think about Jon when I pee, I wonder if you're listening to our podcast and the sound of my voice is now triggering for you to have to pee.
That's my theory.
I just make people pee.
Are you going to start thinking about all of us when you pee?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
No, that's not something I choose to think about.
Oh, no, I'm not saying choose to. I'm just saying, will you accidentally think of us when you pee? But it's a lot of people to think about at this point.
DM me personally your name and I'll add it to the list of people.
You'll just have like a scroll in like your bathroom and you'll open it up.
I'll run through it every time I pee.
That sounds super unhygienic. So,
I mean, you use your phone in the bathroom. Do you not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to lie and be like, no, ew. But like, yeah.
So both of us were at a bachelor and bachelorette party this weekend.
And this actually relates to what we were just saying. On the first night, we all went. I was in Palm Springs, so it was like 400 degrees. But
Yeah.
we came home from the bars, and went into the pool. And then the bride was gone, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, did the bride go throw up?" And I was like, "I'm gonna go check on her." So I go check, and I'm like, "Hey, Christine," and she's like, "Yeah," from the bathroom. I'm like, "Are you throwing up?" And she's like, "Nope, just sitting on the toilet on TikTok." She's like, "I just got comfy. I didn't want to get up." I was like, "Oh my God."
Okay, that's what people do. It's like not wrong.
No, I know. It was more that we thought she was throwing up, and then she was like, "Oh no, I was just comfortable." So, how was your bachelor party?
My bachelor party was actually great, and I just want to mention that I know that when these bachelor parties were coming up, I was complaining because this one in particular in Las Vegas was my most expensive bachelor party.
That's right.
And I was very nervous about that. I do have to say, though, and it does pain me because I don't want to admit this, it was so worth it. It was so sick.
Good.
It was epic. I loved it. I felt great about the money I spent. It was still a little bit more than I'm comfortable with, but you know what? At the end of the day, I got a great experience, and it was exactly what you would want from a bachelor party.
I think also, if you're gonna go to a bachelor party that you know you're gonna spend a little more than you want to, it better be worth it.
I agree.
It better be that party that you remember all year.
And it definitely was. That being
Good.
said, I have some notes.
Okay. Like for your own or for future ones?
Just in general. I don't want to go through the whole week. Like, I'm not here to just tell everyone about my weekend. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But I do have some notes that I did want to share that I just was taking as I was rolling through my weekend.
Just general notes.
General notes. So, first of all, we stayed at a hotel I'd never been in before. It was next to the Venetian. It's called the Palazzo.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Oh,
I've stayed there.
When I walked in, it felt too expensive.
It's very expensive.
I was like, oh my God, I don't belong here. I don't even belong
Wait,
in this.
you guys stayed in like a massive suite.
Yes, which is going into my first
Okay.
point. So we spent a lot of money to get a huge suite. Essentially, it was like maybe the second to top floor, right? So there are suites you can buy. Now, we got 3 in total. So 2 of them were already suites for most people to sleep in.
Okay.
And then one was an extra suite. It was called the executive suite or whatever. So essentially,
How
it's
many
like,
dudes were at this?
it was literally 18. So there's a lot of us.
Okay.
So, so we got, and what we decided was we would get this one massive suite to be our hub, like our
Right.
main suite to party in. And I was like, yikes, this is super expensive. And then when we walked in and I got to see how many people got to hang out in the same room, and it served as like a home base,
Yeah, it looked like a mansion.
it was so worth it.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice. If you're going to go to a bachelor party and you're going to pitch into one big suite, it doesn't matter if there's not enough beds. This huge suite only had 1 bed. A lot of us were sleeping on floors, couches.
That suite only had 1 bed.
Only 1 bed.
That thing had a pool table.
Yes, a pool table. It's huge ceilings. Only had 1 bed for the master bedroom, but it was still worth it because it was cool to have everyone come together in a certain area.
Yeah, very.
That's tip number 1. Tip number 2.
Well, wait. Let me, from the bachelorette party perspective,
Okay.
say, always get a house. Unless it's Vegas. Vegas is probably the one place that I wouldn't get a house, but we got a house in Palm Springs, and it was, I can hear my lisp and everything I'm saying. It was so worth it. It was like so nice to have space and not be on top of each other and have a pool and all of that. So
I agree. Even in a place like I can even imagine Nashville. I'd still feel like that would be a cool place to still have a house. You know, even if it was another
Yeah.
city environment.
just to have like a kitchen and a place to make drinks and like
Yeah,
have that common area, I think is good. So,
completely agree.
agree with you.
Nice. Number 2, and
I'm nervous. What are you going to say?
I have a huge problem with this, and I might even say this for number 3 because it was the thing that bugged me most about the entire weekend. I'm just
Oh.
going to say now.
Okay.
This isn't even a bachelor tip. This is just a life tip
Okay.
in general. I cannot stand open-toed shoes on men. We need to
I'm
put
with
them.
you.
We need to put them things away. Put them toes away. Those nasty, crusty-ass toes. They gotta go. Men do not have nice feet.
Where was someone wearing open-toed shoes as a man?
Great question, which is why I have my issue. Everywhere.
Including the club?
Not the club.
Oh.
They wouldn't let you in. Everywhere else. On the strip, in the casinos, gambling, at the bar, in the elevator, walking
the
around the halls.
strip?
Everywhere. And it's just like, it's everywhere I went. Like I went down to a Starbucks and there were men all over the place with
These
open-toed
weren't
shoes.
Men in your bachelor party.
No, some, which I expressed my concern. But no, in general, I saw dozens. It was like, it became that thing where like, you know, when you notice a car, then everywhere you go, you just notice that car on the
Yes,
street.
yes,
like
yes,
once you
yes.
buy a car, you just notice that everyone has that car. That's how I felt about men's feet. Everywhere I went, everyone was wearing open-toed shoes. Now, I don't know if it's a vacation thing. Do you just think it's probably comfortable?
Well, also, were they like Birkenstocks?
No. Some, sure.
I hate Birkenstocks.
Hate those too. But they were like, I don't know, like slides. Like the slides I have in here that I wear with socks. But they had their open toe, and they're just nasty, crusty toes all over for the casino floor to see. And I'm like, bro, I don't care that you're on vacation. I don't want to see that on my vacation. Like, I want to see good things. I've been paying money in Vegas at a hotel for a reason.
I don't feel like in the casino is a unfair place to wear slides.
Dude.
However, on the strip where it's hot and dirty and muggy and your feet are sweating, like major no. And then I guess if you're walking into the casino after that is pretty gross. But like if you're going to not a pool party, but if you're going to a pool, go ahead and wear your slides. That seems fair.
I do accept that in the pool area. Still gross.
Yeah. But like a pool party, like a day club, I wouldn't. Like what shoes did you wear to the day club?
We didn't go to a day club. We just went to the pool.
Oh, I thought you went to a day club.
We tried to, which is going to be leading into my third issue.
Okay.
Which we'll just move on because we'll come back to the men's feet at some point.
Yeah,
I have such a problem with it. It's so gross. Men need to put their feet away.
I just saw your notes and I have so many questions.
These are. That's a story I could tell you. I'll tell it after my third thing.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, so my third thing.
Yeah.
And this is a tip for bachelor parties in the future, and this is probably the only negative one I have about mine.
Okay.
I think that you need to maybe set an itinerary and follow it. Because I think a problem that we ran into was because we had 18 guys in total showing up throughout the weekend, it was difficult to go and do things and make plans because you want everyone together and everyone's kind of on their own schedule. Yeah. Maybe someone hasn't eaten yet, so a couple of guys are going to go eat. A couple of guys are going to shower. Maybe one guy hasn't flown in yet. So it detracts the entire group from all going out because you're still waiting for that last guy so you can all go out together. And I think that inhibited us from being able to do more things while in Vegas, you know?
Well, I don't know if a group of 18 should be going to Vegas together.
I mean, that's also
a group of 18 can go to San Diego and you can meet up at bars and it's not as big of a deal. But a group of 18 going to Vegas where you're like, but we have a table and we need to all go in together so that we all get in. Like, that's a different thing.
I agree. And you know, the club night's different because you do all want to get ready and go together.
Right. And that was the second night less of a problem,
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Exactly. Way less of a problem. But the first time when we're waiting for people to fly in, we're in the hotel room and I'm like, we're in Vegas. Like, we should be going to a day club or should be going to the pool immediately or should be making as much use of this as possible.
So why didn't you just do that?
Because I wanted to be with my friends.
So why didn't you bring the bachelor and say, when everyone else gets here, we'll come back up to the room and go figure something out? So from the bachelorette party perspective, I was the maid of honor. I planned the whole thing. And that is the number one thing that stressed me out as the person planning it. I think I had like less fun because I was constantly worried about if other people were having fun.
Right.
I still had a great time. It wasn't like that bad. But the second day, we just did we did yoga in the morning. And then like
we had group bachelorette yoga.
We had an instructor come to the house and do yoga. It was honestly
so fun.
It was cute and it was fun. And she played good music and we like were all laughing because we were super hungover. And then we just did a pool day.
That's cute.
And like that day, it was like some girls took naps and stuff. And I was like, is everyone bored? Is everyone? But like, I think that's what they wanted. So
yeah, there was a lot of napping.
Oh, that's weird.
At ours as well.
Vegas.
And I think it's because we're all just approaching that age. We're like,
is Jon admitting that he's getting old?
No. I said we are approaching that age. That age could be 21. You don't know.
That age is not 21.
It's not 21. I'm just saying it could be. I didn't list a specific age. I'm just saying even me, I took a brief nap on Saturday because I had drinks at the pool and I wanted to make sure I was good for the night. But the conversation that took place throughout the entire 2 days in Vegas was just different times that people wanted to nap. So
dude,
it's interesting.
I think that you're going to have to accept that that's reality.
It is. And
but I also think that maybe that's why less people go to Vegas for bachelor and bachelorette parties as they get older.
That's probably true. That's not the place I would go for mine. I'm glad I experienced a bachelor party in Vegas because I feel like that's just like a milestone place.
For sure.
But I wouldn't do mine there.
But yeah, where would you do yours if you could pick right now?
I've thought about this. I think Cabo. Or something fun.
Like, would you do like an all-inclusive
yeah,
Cabo?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the dream.
Totally. You go somewhere tropical.
Can I come to your bachelor party?
Think about it.
Okay, that's a no.
Do you want to ask me about the note you saw?
Yeah, so Jon has these like notes and I am like, oh, open-toed shoes, bored. Okay. The next one just says drugs or mixtape. how that's a or situation, I want to know.
So it was just something hilarious that happened while in Vegas. I wanted to make sure I remembered. And I'm glad you reminded me because I forgot to put it on our rundown.
Okay.
So as we're walking the strip, we see this guy in front of us who is clearly messed up, right?
As they are.
And he's talking to his buddy and they're looking for some drugs.
Okay.
So they're like, it's Vegas, bro. Like, it can't be that hard to find drugs.
Oh, so they're not like standing there soliciting things.
No.
They're like just walking in front of you.
They're walking in front of us and they're like, we got to find some drugs. It's Vegas. It can't be that hard. One of these dudes has got to be selling if we just make it clear, right?
Okay.
So they start walking down the street and this guy is like on the corner and he looks kind of shady. He's got a coat on and they're like, that guy for sure. So they walk up to him and they're like, you got the goods? And the guy's like, yeah, of course I do, man. Would you like to try it? And they're like, oh my gosh, absolutely. But like, is it fire? And he goes, oh, dude, it's so fire. It's the most fire you've ever had in your life. And he was like, amazing. How much? And he's like, well, dang, if you're down to pay for it, like, I'll take 20. And he goes, oh, that's pretty cheap. I'll take it for 20. I'll take, actually give me 2 of them. I'll give you 40. So he goes, okay. So he opens up his coat and he slides him 2 mixtapes.
No.
Because he was just a rapper on the side trying to push his mixtape out to people. And the people thought they were buying drugs the entire time. And the guy's just selling his mixtape.
So did the guys thinking they're buying drugs say never mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, bro, I thought you had drugs. Like, what is this? And the guy's like, no, dude, I'm just trying to push my mixtape. You guys don't want it?
No.
Like, I thought you guys were really interested in my mixtape. I swear it's fire. You asked if it was fire. I said it's fire.
Who asks if drugs are fire?
I mean, I don't know. Drug people.
I'm like, I'm not a drug girl, so like maybe I'm just missing out. But
oh my god!
wow,
it was so funny. We were dying.
That's a really good Vegas.
This
bachelor
poor
party
guy
story.
was just like, this guy's finally people are interested in my mixtape.
Someone wants my mixtape. They want to pay for it.
Yeah.
No, they actually don't.
Just Vegas things though.
Just Vegas things.
So funny.
My favorite thing that happened at the bachelorette party I was at was that we went out to dinner. We had like a not kind of nice dinner, and one of the girls got like a ribeye steak.
Ooh.
Or a short rib. She got a short rib. And there was a good amount of it left at the end. And, they came by and they're like, do you guys want boxes? And all of us were like, oh, no, like we're going to like a bar after,
right.
We're not going to take our food. And she goes, yeah, give me a box. And I'm like, how are you going to bring short rib to like a 2-story open air club bar?
Right.
She wraps it up in one of the napkins from the restaurant.
The steak.
She wraps the box in it because she's like, to keep it warm. Sticks
to
it
insulate
in.
the steak.
Her purse turned into a backpack. She stuck her backpack on and away she went.
So do they not check your backpack at the club?
No, I mean it wasn't like that kind of club,
Oh.
It was like enough of a like
laid back.
It was not laid back, but it was not Vegas.
Oh, okay. So they're not intensely checked. So she got in there. Did she eat her steak at the club?
Nope. She had it for breakfast the next morning.
Oh, no.
Yep. She stuck it in the fridge when we got home and then ate it for breakfast.
Old steak.
Day old steak, baby. The other thing that Jon and I then, you and your roommate Kyle FaceTimed me on Monday morning as I'm getting ready to leave the bachelorette party. And I think I pulled out a penis straw. And Jon asked, why are bachelorette parties allowed to have penises everywhere, but guys can't have vaginas?
Yeah, I want to be clear about this because I actually heard this on the 20-somethings Doing Nothings podcast.
Oh.
This is what Ricky and Anthony were talking about.
Oh, you know what? I haven't gotten to that podcast because they warned that they talked about smelly vaginas, and I was like, I don't really want to like. I'm just not in a place to sit around and think about stinky vaginas.
Well, the comments about about their episode.
I'm sorry, this is going to be a rated R podcast.
Was that if you listen to it on loud, there's a part where the word dick or vagina is being said once every few seconds for a good 10-minute period of time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But it was a really interesting conversation, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. And as soon as I went on this bachelor party, we were there having a great time. And like, girls just not a thing. Like, boobs not a thing. I want to say like the word vagina is weird, but like not a thing. Girls in general, not really a thing at our bachelor party. Like, it's a lot of bros.
What are you talking about? Like, boobs not a thing.
This is what I mean. So the bachelor, his fiance also had a bachelorette party the same weekend.
Yeah.
So naturally, we're keeping up with each other to see how they're going on socials. And on her socials, there were like penis cookies, penis straws, like.
I want to say, did theirs have a blow-up penis somewhere? I know I was following hers as well.
Yes, and they're like biting the penis cookies.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not is exactly the thing, because I started to think about it, and I started to think about them talking on that podcast when I heard How weird is that that's just so acceptable? Imagine if we had boob cookies. Or like...
Boob cookies wouldn't be that weird.
How about a vagina cookie?
Vagina cookies would be pretty weird.
I think boob cookies are weird too. I'm not going to put boob cookies in my mouth. I mean, if they're there and they taste good, but I'm not like, it's still weird though, you know?
No, I'm just saying, if you think about it, like, it's not weird for us to put penis cookies in our mouth.
But I feel like it kind of is though.
No, but like, do you see what I'm saying? Forget it.
No, but
like
you're saying the real thing happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So does it the other way around?
I know. But like differently, maybe?
Okay. So you're not biting it. I hope.
Yeah, ideally not. I don't know. And
it's just an interesting...
It is interesting. Like, girls, and this was my best friend's one rule, was absolutely zero paraphernalia that said last penis forever. or same penis forever. No same penis forever paraphernalia.
How come?
She just like hates it. She thinks it's so... Ugh,
all right, well, my bachelor party before that, he had a hat that said same vagina forever, and I thought it was hilarious.
Okay, so...
So that's the exception,
But that feels like what you wouldn't tip. Did he wear that in public?
Oh, yeah, the entire weekend.
Yeah, that seems...
I think that's better because there's not a picture on it. They're words, It's better for me, I think.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's tradition. And maybe it's because women just,
Also, dicks are gross.
Dicks are gross, but they're kind of funny when they're like in cookie and straw shape.
Actually, not a bad point.
Like oh my God, this is the worst thing. So I had ordered a bunch of stuff for the bachelorette party. It all came except for one thing. And I get home on Monday, and then on Tuesday morning, I have an email from Etsy, and it says, "Ding dong, your delivery is almost here." Ding dong, that delivery was penis confetti.
So you got ding dong dicked.
Dude, I wish.
Wow. I don't even know what that means anymore.
I now am the proud owner of penis confetti that I'll just save until my next bachelorette party, which probably will be next spring. So like...
Do you think we'll have to put a disclaimer on this podcast? Because I feel like now we are running into the same issue where just the word dick has been said so much.
No, I haven't said dick. I've said penis.
Yeah. Penis is way better, I think.
I guess. But I just, I now am the owner of genitalia confetti.
Penis confetti.
Penis confetti.
Penis glitter.
Like, imagine if like...
Genital glitter.
Imagine I... Ew. Imagine I like walked in, or I like went on a date and brought a guy over, and there's just like a bag of like penis confetti sitting on my...
A bag of dicks.
A bag of dicks.
Go eat a bag of dicks.
I could. So I'm going to hide that away.
We need to stop this.
Yeah, we're done here. I think we're good. So you had a good time?
I did. We'll take a quick break, actually, because I know we're going to fight coming up. And so I'm going to take a mental break while we go into some commercials. And we'll be right back with the main topic of the day.
Okay.
No, you're really making this commercial break, aren't you? Let me know.
Are we back? Oh. I needed to be hydrated for this. I had to get up and get my water.
Now we're back.
Now we are indeed back.
So we had a friend in one of our group texts come to us with just needing some advice on what to do in a situation. I think the exact words were, "Can you please interpret this text and tell me what it means?"
Yeah, and I think you and I were the first two to chime in. I was the first person to chime in.
Yes, and I completely, so aggressively disagreed with your first.
No, but then I followed up.
Yes, and your follow-up was more along the lines of what I thought.
Yes. So, that's not... Oh, I thought you were pulling up our responses.
Oh, no, I'm not going to pull the responses.
So basically, he was texting with a girl who... He had gone out with a couple times, but it had been a little while since he'd seen her. They work very opposite schedules. And then he straight up asked her, "Is it a nah, never going to see you again?"
I'm sure there was some pre-context here of them saying, like,
can you do this, or do you want to go do this?
Yes, are we going to hang out again? And then maybe she said, nah. And then he said, "Is it nah, never going to see you again?" And she replied with, "No, not that."
No, she responded with, "Nah, probably not that."
Yeah, so she's shutting down it's not that we're never going to see each other again immediately.
Right.
So then the text proceeded, and he said, "Okay, good, because that would be pretty awkward." And she followed up with, and this is the key text here.
Right.
I should say, though, that I don't know what I'm looking for.
Right.
And I don't love his response, but it was still very chill. He said, that's okay. All I know is I enjoy talking to you, and I'd like to keep talking to you. I enjoy spending time with you. And she said, okay.
With a smiley face. Don't discredit the smiley face. You want to discredit the smiley face.
I'm discrediting the smiley face.
Okay, here's my thing. My response was, she's either saying, I don't know what I'm looking for because she did not want to have any feelings. This is what you got angry about.
Yeah.
She didn't want to have any feelings and wasn't maybe ready to have any feelings, and then kind of does, but understands that like their schedules are very different and who knows if that can work out. And it's scary. I just think opening yourself up and being really vulnerable is really scary.
It is.
So that's one option of why she said, I don't know what I'm looking for.
And I don't think that's the case, because if you're not trying to have feelings for someone, you're going on like dates, like you're on dating apps, you're changing your he was mentioning that after the first 3 days, she changed one of her prompts. So she's clearly looking to date, maybe not catch feelings, but date.
Okay, mister, I'm dating all the time, but I'm actually not trying to like fully be in a relationship.
I'm just saying, if I told someone that like, I'm not ready to have feelings, it's like, that might happen, you know?
Oh, this is off to a bad start. Because you are the king of right now being like, I'm trying to date, but I'm not trying to be in a relationship. So how is that different than what I just said?
Because the relationship isn't my priority right now. Like, I'm not going into something immediately being like, this needs to be a relationship, because I have other priorities that I'm more aggressively focusing on. So the relationship is going to be less of a priority right now. That being said, if I happen to get swept off my feet by someone and I couldn't control it, then I wouldn't be able to reject that. And all I'm saying is, she's not being swept off her feet right now by our friend.
You almost said his name.
I did. I almost said it.
Okay.
And if she's not being swept off her feet, that message right there saying, I should say, though, that I don't know what I'm looking for. She's saying, hey, we can keep talking, but I'm not here for any kind of commitment. This is what it's going to be. And he needs to know that he's not in. He's out.
Okay. Well, my follow-up response was, or she's just not interested enough, right? Something
She's
like
not interested enough. And I also just like want to make a quick like thumb note here. Mm-hmm. That I don't.
Is it a thumb note a thing? Don't worry about it.
Footnote?
Yep.
There it is. I don't like when people say I wasn't enough for that person.
Well, that's what it always feels like.
I understand that, because I felt that too. I don't think that's the case, though, in almost any circumstance, because I don't feel like I'm enough is honestly just, we're just not the right fit. I'm not the perfect fit. And that doesn't mean you're not enough, because you are going to be plenty for someone else.
Or
There's
too
no
much.
more or less you can be. It's just simply not the right fit. And if she doesn't have these feelings, it's not that our friend isn't enough. It's just that maybe he's not the right click for her. That's like going to sweep her off her feet or make her want to throw everything else away. And if she's not looking to do that right now, he can't put in any more serious effort.
Okay. I don't agree with you.
Okay. Well, why not?
Because I don't even know if I can like get into all this right now or I'm going to be upset. But I just like men this is a reverse situation, which makes it a little more interesting. But like, I've been in so many situations where it's like you're either not enough or you're too much. So how could you sit here and be like, no, it's not that. Like, it is always that.
How is it? What makes you feel like it's not enough or too much? Your personal feelings. I guarantee they're not telling you are not enough. And if they are, they're an asshole because they're wrong.
Well, I've gotten the like, it's too much.
I mean, that's probably for different reasons, though.
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
Like too much stress, maybe, but that's...
No, I'm not too much stress. If you want to be with me, just be with me. It's not that hard.
I completely agree. This is what I've been trying to say this whole time.
Anyway, what's the next part of this?
Anyway, basically what we ended up telling him was that you got to stop putting in effort because she's not there yet.
Oh, and I didn't fully agree with this. I said, go ahead and ask her out. Oh, that's what my second one was. Ask her out one more time.
Oh, God.
Ask her out one more time, and if she blows you off again, then it's done. That's great advice. For someone who says, I just don't know what I'm looking for. Okay. But if you're looking to spend time with me, you're going to make that happen.
Okay. And then the minute that the effort stops coming in from her end, then you back out.
Then, yeah, I think he has his answer of what she's looking for, and whatever it is he probably nothing or just not what he has to offer.
Right. What worries me is, and I've been in this situation, I think a lot of us have, having too much hope, trying to make excuses for the other person who's telling you, hey, it's just like, I'm not looking for this, like, or this isn't, like, I'm not going to devote any more attention to this, or I'm not going to bring this to any higher of a level than we are already at. I think you start making for excuses for that person because I think she's just bored, and I think she's still just trying to talk to him.
Well, that's possible. She may just be like, I want the attention, and I like having someone to talk to, and you're a nice person to talk to.
Exactly. And that's what makes me nervous, because if you want anything more than that and you're trying to be a nice person and they're not ready to take it to the next level, there's a very high risk of you getting taken advantage of. This statement right here. I should say, though, that I'm not sure what I'm looking for. That is a way out of anything that happens from here on out. If she meets a guy next week, starts talking to him because he, to her, is more interesting, and then drops this person right off the bat, you can't really be mad because she said, hey, I told you I'm not sure what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's an easy way out, and that's what scares me. And so I think that if you get a message like that, and our friend did, I think he needs to back off. I think he needs to put it on the side burner. And if he wants to keep talking, know that nothing will probably come from it, but devote his attention to someone who will reciprocate it, because I think that's what everyone deserves.
That's fair, but it's also hard to find people who reciprocate it.
Of course it is. That's dating, though. Dating's hard. There's a million people in the world. You're trying to find your one, which by definition means everyone until then is not going to work out. That's hard. It's going to be hard. But like, you can't go into dating trying not to get your heart broken. That's like not going to work. It's impractical. You're going to have to dive in. You're going to have to get your heart broken. It's going to suck sometimes, but you got to be able to bounce back from that, because that's the only way you're going to find the person that's worth all of that hurt.
This is the sermon of Jon.
It is,
today.
dude. It is. It so is.
I'm like a little too personally invested in the like feeling of the person who the other person doesn't like. So, you know, I just get that too often. It's like I always feel like I'm the person that is putting in more effort than the other person.
Can I
Can I say person one more time?
Can I make a statement, though?
Sure.
I think that's because you let yourself give effort for too long. I think you notice when the effort isn't reciprocated, but you continue on for longer than you need to. And so then, yeah, you're right. You're hurt because you've been putting all this effort in for, let's say, like a year or whatever it is. And like,
or, you know, just throwing out a random
yeah.
number.
And like, maybe they weren't ready yet, but if they weren't ready and you were, like, you give them a certain amount of time. And if they're not meeting your demands, you should just move on and find someone who will.
That's so much easier said than done.
Of course it is. It's so hard. But like, that's what you got. Otherwise, you're just going to get more hurt, you know?
Yep.
Are you well?
No, I'm like shutting down over this because
Yeah.
I'm just frustrated by it. It's all because then this whole conversation led to someone else in the group text being like, make her, I don't want to say the word, but like a back pocket person.
A BPB.
BPB.
A back pocket.
Biatch. Which is not calling this girl that, but just in general terms. But it's like, guys always do that to girls. Girls always end up in their back pocket, and we should just learn to communicate better and be like, I'm either not into it or I am, and that's it.
And here's why I'm going to say you're wrong for saying guys always do that to girls, because our friend is already in that girl's back pocket. He's already a back pocket dude.
Well, sure. I'm not saying that he shouldn't.
So
He should just cut it off.
Or
She should have just cut it off.
or
Is actually
he
what I'm
could
saying.
move her into his back pocket, put in effort when it's convenient, but not expect anything out of it and not devote anything to it, and focus his attention on trying to find something else. Back pocket.
But what's the point of having him in your back pocket if you're trying to focus on something else anyway?
Yeah, and he may not want her in a pocket at all. He should probably just drop her on the counter, maybe toss her into the basura, and just move on with no one in that back pocket. But, you know.
But why do people put people in their back pocket when they're actively looking for something else?
I don't know.
That's what I think is like the messed up thing, and that we should all stop doing.
That's a good point.
It's similar to like the back burner, but I think a little bit different because it's like you have these intentions of letting that person continue to think that they're important.
No, because I don't think that this girl in our friend's back pocket is going to think that she is important or waiting to be in his front pocket.
Maybe this one situation.
And a lot of situations are like this.
But
Like, you should
so
only put
many-
someone in the back pocket if you're also in their back pocket, or just don't have them in the pocket at all. This got confusing.
Yeah, it did. I think that like, a back pocket person. It just sounds funny. But it's like, sure, if it's kind of like more of a like friends with benefits situation, or like,
True.
oh, we like we hooked up once, or like we went on a date once, months ago, whatever. But if you like have gone on dates or like there's feelings involved, like it shouldn't be you just have to cut shit off when it needs to be cut off.
So what if they're both trying to find their person, but in the meantime, like,
they know they're not each other's person?
Yeah.
Then cut it off. What are you wasting your time for?
Well, what if they still like hanging out as whatever they are sometimes?
They're nothing.
Yeah, and maybe they like hanging out as nothing.
It's wasting everyone's time. Someone's going to get hurt.
Not always.
Always, John. Always. Someone gets hurt.
Not always. And as long as it's properly communicated, I don't think that's possible. I mean, I don't think it's necessary.
Just like, wait, what? No, I don't know. I think that if you've been in situations where someone didn't get hurt, then the other person didn't communicate that they got hurt.
So you think in a relationship or in any kind of, and I mean the term relationship as just meeting someone, kind of friends, all the way to dating, anywhere in that spectrum.
Just meeting someone is maybe not fair.
Once you've had any kind of romantic connection with someone always gets hurt. Is that your claim?
If it is prolonged at all, yes.
Interesting.
It's like maybe you you sleep together one time, never talk to each other again. Someone's probably not hurt there.
Okay.
But like.
So what if you sleep together 2 times?
I'm going to kill you today.
I'm just curious. Where's the line?
No, I just think that like anytime feelings start to develop, someone's going to get hurt.
Yes, but what if those big feelings never start to develop? I think it's rare.
Then you shouldn't be doing anything together.
Why? What if it's fun?
Because then you don't like each other.
Yeah, but what if you both find each other attractive and you're not really looking for anything serious and you're in, say, a friends with benefits situation?
Someone's going to get hurt.
You think so?
Someone's going to get hurt.
Wow. That's interesting. I mean, I hear your point. I would just like to believe that that's not always the case.
I think that is so much wishful thinking from a guy's perspective because you guys are generally so able to like, even if you start to feel something, it's easier to be like, nope, we're not doing that. Take it away. And it's gone. But like for girls, it's like a literal chemical thing. I think I talked about this recently. It's an actual chemical change when you sleep with someone and therefore not as easy to just like have zero feelings attached.
Perhaps.
You should Google it sometime.
I just think that the reason that some guys have gotten good at that is because they've been led on by girls like we were just talking about.
Okay, but...
And so you learn your lesson of, I probably shouldn't let myself get too attached every single time because I've noticed that sometimes when you're the nice guy, you just keep getting put in the back pocket.
That's fair. Does that make me the nice girl? And that's why I keep getting put in the back pocket?
Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm not even that nice. Like, I'm really not.
I just think that that's fine because, generally speaking, guys are more down for good girls than girls are for good guys.
No.
No.
Also, we're sitting here debating like, no, does someone always get hurt? Like, yes, someone always gets hurt. This text is case in point.
This is one example.
Oh my God, I'm so annoyed. I don't think I'm able to like communicate what I'm trying to say well.
Yeah, I know. I think we kind of lost where this started because we did jump a few different topics into one.
But generally, I think the back pocket is a really bad idea. It's similar to the back burner. However, I don't think it's when you're in a relationship, right? The back burner is when you're in a relationship and you're keeping someone else kind of like on deck.
Yes, I feel like the term sounds disrespectful.
Back pocket.
Back pocket, back burner. Back burner sounds even more somehow. But I think that the idea is not always bad.
I just don't see the point of having someone in your back pocket if you have no interest. Like what is the point?
Maybe you're both very single and like want someone to go on dates with or to watch movies with.
But someone's going to get hurt. Because someone's going to develop more feelings than the other. Someone's going to be ready to move that back pocket into the front pocket. And then they're going to get hurt, and that'll be that.
Yeah, but if you communicate properly, maybe you're like, here, that time has come, but I'm not really as upset as I would have been because I knew this was coming.
No. That's not how it works. You're going to be upset because you're going to get the signals from the other person. Like say these two people, the text and our friend.
Yeah.
Whatever. Both put each other in the back pocket. and they start hanging out and they see each other sometimes and they go to movies together and they make out and they do whatever they want together. But they know, oh, they're just in my back pocket. At some point, they're going to say, oh, wait, I think that other person is more than the back pocket to me or is putting in more effort than I was. And it's intriguing me. And then it's like, no, they were just putting in the effort that you guys kind of agreed to put in.
Okay, and this is where I'll come in because I don't think putting in effort can make me feel any more attached to someone if I'm not going to feel that anyway. For example, if someone's in this example, let's say I'm one of these people who's just hanging out with someone for months.
Okay.
But I know that you're not the person for me, right?
Okay.
Like I know that you're not my one or whatever
Okay.
that I'm like trying to get with. You can put in all the effort in the world. We can go on as many dates as you want. It's not going to change my mind. Effort alone is not going to be like, oh, because this person put in all this effort. If effort is what was lacking in the beginning, then maybe. Maybe if effort's something
True.
that I needed to see, then absolutely. But if the chemistry just isn't there, nothing's going to change that.
Okay, I'm not saying that person A or person B putting in effort is going to change the other one's mind. I'm saying that at some point, the casual seeing of each other as one person develops more feelings, it's going to feel like, oh, they're putting in the effort and they want more. And then that's where like the communication gets crossed and it's all ruined and someone gets hurt. Can you tell I've been really fucked over lately?
I can't. Yeah, I'm getting those hints just a little bit. Have you ever been in a friends with benefits situation?
Yeah.
How did it end? Did you get hurt?
Kind of. But now it's not so bad. And I have spoken to them recently. I'm trying to get you to read my mind.
Is it a doctor?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, it was like a brief, like, that was a bummer. But the communication there was different.
It was a brief bummer. We're not talking about heartbreak. This is fine. Oh, my God.
I just think, don't put people in your back pocket.
This guy was in your back pocket.
I wasn't dating other people when I was dating him.
Okay, so if you're not dating other people, they can still be in your back pocket?
No.
Okay.
I never had him he was in my front pocket with the understanding that there was a deadline.
All right, so you put him on the table so he's not in any pocket, and then you just picked him back up and now put him in your pocket again. I would argue he's been in your back pocket the whole time. You just haven't been talking to him.
He's not been in my back pocket the whole time. No, I had a whole relationship in the time.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. He's not been in my back pocket the whole time. But I do believe in timing, and maybe
that's a reason for a back pocket situation.
No. No.
What if the timing's off?
Set them free. If they're meant to come back to you, they will, but they don't belong in your back pocket. They don't belong being led on.
That's only if you're leading them on. She put him in her back pocket and she's being honest. She's saying, look, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Actually, I think she could be more honest than that.
I agree.
She's saying I don't know what I'm looking for, but what she knows is that
she knows. No, she knows.
She's not ready to date him right now, whether that be right now or ever.
I actually agree with you completely on that. So that sucks because it did leave our friend here to try and interpret that text, which we can see right through because we're just not in the situation right now because you're kind of clouded when you are. Mm-hmm. But still, she's communicating that. And if our friend decided, all right, he took a minute, stopped having feelings, and then maybe wanted to hang out also casually, then what's the harm?
Someone's going to get hurt. I think that the harm...
This has been fun.
Yeah, has it?
I don't know. I got to listen to this back and understand if this made any sense. Because it also sucks. We should have given this person a name because talking in code, I think, is very difficult.
Yeah, it is. Timing is a lot of things.
It is.
But
Timing
you should never hold on to someone for the hope.
I agree.
The hope that your own feelings will come around or that the situation will change. Set them free.
I don't think you should come with the hope. You should bank on the hope of theirs either, though.
Huh? What do you mean the hope of theirs? The hope of theirs what?
Like the hope of the other person's feelings. Like if you're hoping that their feelings will come around because the timing's not right for them, I don't think you should wait for that necessarily either because you never know if that timing will ever work out.
True, and that's a huge mistake I made. Okay. I don't like to call people mistakes, but that's a pretty big mistake that I have made. Is I waited a long time for someone to catch up and
Absolutely.
It didn't happen.
And I think that's a lesson, not a mistake.
No, totally. Mistake isn't the right word.
Right.
But
Because now going in, would you ever do that again?
Oh, probably. I make the same mistakes all the time. Come on, John. You know me.
Toxic.
No. Oh, my God. Do not get me started on that. All I'm saying is set everyone free. Let them go.
Okay.
Everyone just start communicating with each other. And when you don't like someone, tell them. And if you don't like someone, tell them before you sleep with them again. Just feels like the right thing to do.
There's just so much gray area that I feel like you refuse to admit sometimes.
What?
Or maybe you don't have a gray area.
I'm a super non-gray.
You're a very black and white person, actually.
I'm like, I don't like you, or like, uh-oh, I like you.
Yeah, you're either it's this or that with almost everything. And I usually live in the gray area somewhere because I think things are more complicated than that.
Things are more complicated than that.
Oh.
The doorbell. Do you need to go get that?
I don't know who it is. No, I mean, it can't be for me.
Okay. Wait, I want to talk about this gray area, though, before we wrap this up.
Okay.
Explain to me sorry, there's dog barking, if you can hear that. What do you mean, like, what is something that I see as black and white that there's more gray area in?
I think friends with benefits is one of them.
What? I just said I have done that, and it was
Yeah,
fine.
okay. I feel like there's over the weeks there have been on every issue. I'm like, no, but it's not this or that, and then you're like, yes, it is.
It's just
I'd have to go back and look at topics.
Humans' feelings are complex. I understand that, but you know deep down when you feel one way or another about something, and we all need to learn how to like channel that a little more. Just be more honest with yourself and then with others.
That's a good note to end on, I think.
Yeah, whoa,
That's
my
pretty
like.
nice. Yeah.
Hope you guys go out there and tell some people how you feel, stir shit up.
Hey, did this make any sense? Let us know.
Let us know at Almost On Air on Instagram.
You can also find this on YouTube. This will probably be more enjoyable to watch than to listen to.
Probably.
But it's youtube.com/almostonair. We'll have the video up by the time this episode comes out. And we have a Twitter, too, if you want to check that out. It's usually just Erica tweeting, but...
I also don't know the last time I tweeted. So. We do have a Twitter, though, and we have our friends who we mentioned, 20-somethings Doing Nothing podcast. That's Ricky. You can go listen back to the original and Dicks and Vaginas podcast. And then Carla Marie and Anthony have the My Day Friday podcast and their show on Twitch. And we said last week, but we do have some fun stuff coming up.
Next week's episode might be in Las Vegas because we are working the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and we're hoping to record the podcast from Las Vegas.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Don't know if that'll happen, but at least we'll be at that festival by the time the next episode comes out.
We're going to try.
That'll be fun.
Okay.